The referee here is Alan Robinson from Waterlooville, Hampshire. He gets the game underway in front of the biggest crowd of the season here at Portman Road. United, of course, in the red shirts. Less spectacular run than Ipswich just recently, but they're 5 points ahead of them, and they've played one game less. Ipswich last defeated by Coventry on December the 1st, 3 months and 15 games ago. But both sides with key players missing and a little bit of rethinking to do. Ashley Grimes playing in number 11 shirt, but he'll be working a lot down that left-hand side. A quick flag for offside. And away we come to Kevin Beattie. Forward for Mills, centre of midfield. Two Dutchmen on either side. This is George Burley. For Gates almost through here. Buchan keeping him out. Mariner in with the drive. Topped it and didn't test Gary Bailey. Paul Mariner, the leading scorer with 14 goals. Unfortunate that his father wasn't able to come from South Africa to see this game. Butcher and Osman going for this, and Jordan goes for it as Osman misses, and Burley back to Cooper. Paul Cooper, whose penalty save at Liverpool last week, earned Ipswich a very valuable point and kept the run going. Houston up here with Mariner. Mariner wins. McQueen. And Houston knocks it forward. Mills to pick up. Mariner coming off a lot already as Mills getting a lot of possession quickly, and Gates can't find Brazil. So here's Sloane, the fair-haired one, taking Ray Wilkins' place in midfield. It's his first full game. Had a good ball forward, and Brazil's in a possession. He's not offside. Brazil scores. And Manchester United's marking let them down, and Brazil tucks one past Gary Bailey.
Yes, I must say, you said that Brazil scored some great goals. It wasn't a great goal, but it was well taken, I suppose.
Oh, yes, his left foot, he was left back plays him all over there. That's right.
No,
just, yeah. And this is all in Brazil. 1 against 1, he was deadly.
Yeah, well, you weren't at United at this time anyway, Bobby, but you would have been happy with that kind of defence, would you?
Well, no, I was... I mean, these days, you know, they would just step up and he'd be offside, but Stuart Houston on the left-hand side there, I think, just played him on. But they had a lot of really good strikers, Ipswich, and they weren't the sort of team that you would allow, you know, the space.
Bobby,
that
I'm looking at that ball. What's on it? I mean, it looks like...
Well, it looks... It's an awful ball. At the time, I think it was a fait accompli. You know, we had to play that. The Football League said we had to use this particular ball.
Oh, I see.
But it looked as though there was a divot on it, you know, and it was really off-putting. It never really looked a good, solid ball. It always looked as though there's something wrong with it. Very difficult for players to pick up as well, I think,
yeah.
You know, in flight.
Did you notice that, Arnold?
I thought it was a good ball because he won with 6-0.
Well, of course.
No, you might be right.
No, I think I'm speaking generally, not about this game.
Well, the Portman Road crowd haven't had the luck to see too much of Kevin Beattie this season because of injuries, but always spectacular in everything he does. Coming in like a train to meet this. Bang! And open. Butcher in here. Free kick given against Joe Jordan. The dreaded elbow. Deep for Paul Mariner. Paul Mariner gets there. Brazil is onto that one. Mariner. It's in. Mariner tucks that one in after it had...
Well, we talked about Mariner scoring goals. I mean, he was your leading goal scorer at the time, wasn't he, Arnold?
Yes, we had two good goal scorers, Paul Mariner and Alan Brazil. Yeah. So when we had a chance in front of goal, they just scored.
And Gates and Walker, of course, they're all there, weren't they?
Walker, and don't forget John Walker, because he was so good coming from midfield.
Was he a character, Mariner?
Paul was very noisy in the dressing room, singing all the time. I can remember we played Alkmaar in the final for the UEFA Cup. When we were lining up just before we went onto the pitch, he was singing. And all the AZ players were looking at him and said, there must be something wrong with these kind of players. Normally you don't do that. But he was just singing.
He was relaxed,
He was
obviously.
very relaxed, yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Brazil in 2 minds loses it. Handball by Tyson. Play allowed to go on amazingly. And United players appealing towards the referee, Alan Robinson. Well, I must say I was surprised to let that one go. Jordan here. Oh, the cries of the Ipswich crowd much stronger than the Manchester United contingent, and well they might be. Brazil. Free kick. Against Jimmy Nicholl. For Tyson. Burley's so free on that right-hand side. Jordan comes over the cover now, and here's Gates in here. And the referee's in the way of Buchan. And Bailey in trouble here as Mariner puts it in. Mariner makes it 3 after only 20.
So that was the referee's fault, I suppose, Bobby.
Well, he was in the way. It was obvious. You could see on the left-hand side of the field.
Yeah.
He allowed the right side to go through unchallenged. You watch this. I mean, look. Yeah. Just checks him enough to stop him. Otherwise, he'd have stopped that cross. So, never mind. I'm resigned to it now. But this is one of those games when you know, and you can see it happening. You know it's going to happen. There's nothing you can do about it.
No.
When a team is playing well and they're passing well and they're working as a team, it's very difficult. What you've got to do is really work hard, mark, restrict them and everything, and that's what United aren't doing. There's lots of space.
And of course, I mean, let's face it, they've gone unbeaten for about 11 games, so they're riding high. They were cocked, weren't they?
Of course, yes. And they're playing on their own ground, and they're playing against a big side. They don't need much motivation. But it's not the sort of team that needs motivation. Ipswich, you know, they know what they can do. They've got class players in every department. And a big threat.
What was the most decisive defeat you had as a player, Bobby? Can you remember?
The biggest? 7 at Newcastle. We lost 7-3 at Newcastle. It was a nightmare. The longest 90 minutes I've ever had in my life. Not the worst game I've ever played in, but it's the 7. Well, no, actually, no. 19-1 when I played for the YMCA when I was 14. Yeah. We scored first.
You've won a penalty there.
That's right, yes.
Arnold.
Yes.
And who would normally be taking the penalties? In this case, I think France is it.
Normally it's John Walk. He was a penalty taker, but this time it's French is taking this one.
Tyson. Saved it.
Well,
I was surprised that French was taking this one because he's not really a penalty taker, France.
Gary Bailey obviously did well. He was down quickly.
Oh, yes, he did well there. Picked the right corner.
It's a bit
not a good penalty,
yeah,
you're
was
right, because he didn't have
very good
taking.
taking.
There's no power in it at all.
It was a very good penalty.
Butcher in there powerfully. Here and the simple one back to Kevin Beattie. Could be a free kick. Could be more than that. Indeed, it's going to be a booking for Jimmy Nicholl. The foul wasn't too good, but the reaction after that was bad. But I think it's a sign of the anxiety and disaffection in the United side. They've had a rough ride here. Mariner in the middle. Leaping for this one. Mariner got a touch. Not an easy one to get to. As we move into time added on of this first half. Well, it's been a worrying 45 minutes for Gary Bailey. As Burley gets that one. Buchan. Gates. Muren through well here with Mariner's help. Mariner now with a chance to wing one. Down he goes, another penalty. gracious me, it's all happening here. Nicol penalised for that challenge. Certainly a rash one. Now I think it's going to be Kevin Beattie going to take this one, but let's see how it happened. Bang! Inviting the referee's reaction, and there it is. Now Beattie scored twice from the spot for the reserves last week. Will Bailey saved this one again, though. Kevin Beattie. He's done it again. Once more. And off the line by Koppel. And has it got to be taken once more? I think it has. Well, poor Gary Bailey. Now, did he move? Yes, he did. But he did well to get it. But the referee says, you moved before the kick was taken, let's have it again. Well, this isn't doing his morale any good, and nor is it doing the morale of Manchester United any good at all. It's already in tatters. And Beattie will have another chance. Oh, Gary Bailey, what a great round of success that was. You've got to hand it to the young goalkeeper, and everybody is. Same again. He probably moved again, but a good save. Well, incredibly then, Ipswich are leading by 3 goals to 0. They've missed 3 penalties. And that's the end of a very, very dramatic first half. Nicol. Bad one from Nicol. And out there to Beattie, who's offside. Well, it gives you an idea of the confidence running through the side at the moment when Beattie, the left back, suddenly pops up in the left wing position. So I wonder what Dave Sexton had to say about that at half-time. Certainly they needed to reorganise the back and tighten up in midfield. Cut out well by Russell Osman. Nicol's got plenty of time to get back on that one, as both sets of players regroup in the middle of the field. Jordan with Osman there waiting to pick it up. Straight to Gates. Tyson, the space there is still huge and inviting. Mariner. And here comes Brazil. Gary Bailey totally exposed again, not his fault. But Alan Brazil makes it 4-0.
I must say, with 11 games unbeaten, Arnold, you'd built up really a head of steam, hadn't you, here? You were going very well.
Well, if I see this game again, we looked a very good team. We didn't give many chances away. Every chance is a goal.
Bailey parries it away, but there's Brazil on hand.
Yeah, the marking was not very tight, was it? I mean, there's so many gaps in their defence. That
led to the side for United, of course, Bobby.
Yeah, it's a bad game for them, you know. Everything seems to be going wrong, and probably, you know, psychologically they feel, you know, there's not much to be gained from it. And you get players that suddenly start playing for themselves instead of as a team. And, you know, there's no cohesion, you do leave spaces. And I think that they stop picking up players, they lose the concentration, and against a side of such quality, you know, that's a dangerous thing to do.
Sloan on the touchline behind him.
There's no excuse for it, they're just playing badly. And they will be on the day. They'll be waiting for the final whistle these days.
They're off again. There goes Brazil. It's 1 against 1 here. A quick check behind from Buchan to make sure there's a bit of cover. There isn't much. Brazil in for Gates. Space. Can he turn on it? Setting it up, he was trying to for Paul Mariner, and taking just a little bit too long. What a challenge there from Butcher. Forward again, not offside. Mariner going to the near post. This is Brazil for the hat-trick. Gates. It's still in play. And Mills with a chance to cross one comfortably. Now Gates. Off the line. Nicol this time. Where are Manchester United? They've disappeared. Well, they should have had that one in again, Ipswich. Gates, I suppose, had the better chance, but Brazil was there too. The cross coming over, Bailey goes for it, doesn't get it. So inviting, but straight at Nicol. Bailey got back well, in fact. So Nicol, I suppose, who was culpable in the first half for one or two things, did well there to stop that one. And the chaos in their side is going to mean a change, and it's going to mean Nikola Jovanovic, the Yugoslav international, coming on, and Nicol coming off when the referee spots him.
Well, you suggested that Nicol would now have come off, and finally Dave Sexton's taken that step.
Well, I think so, you know. I mean, the game's lost, and what he didn't want is for Jimmy Nicol not to be available for the next month or so. I don't know what the penalty would be, but he's decided to bring on the Yugoslav, who was there for a short period. I don't even think he was there for a whole season, but it wasn't a very successful move as foreign players go coming to the UK. But it's just a bad one for United. You know.
Do you remember very much of Jovanovic?
No, he was there for a short time, that's all. And I think they played him in various positions, but he never really settled. And of course, I think he didn't really last one whole season even. Obviously had an ability.
Certainly we were talking, Arnold, about the way you adapted to Ipswich. How did the players adapt to you as a friend, as a personality? You were welcome there. It was easy for you to settle out.
Well, I think Ipswich Town was really a family club. It's
yeah, it was.
It's a very small town, and
yes.
Mr. Robson was a sort of a father for his players.
Yeah.
Not only on the pitch, but off the pitch as well. He was always interested in my family, how's your wife doing, the children going to school, and that sort of thing. And he realized that my family life was okay. I would pay him back on the pitch. And he did very good in that respect.
And of course you had quite a good chairman and manager at that level too.
Yeah, Mr. Cobbold,
yeah,
the family Cobbold, yeah. And they were there for years and years. Great characters.
Yeah.
It was really a family club, I think, interesting.
It wasn't like a foreign player coming in, though, it was with Franz.
No, because
and with Arnold, because they spoke sometimes better English than we did. Yeah, so it wasn't like foreigners coming, was it, really?
No.
Not at all.
Well, I suppose any side that's 3-0 down away from home after 27 minutes knows that it's going to be a fairly frustrating time for the rest of the game. And they've only put together their sequence and rhythm in a half-hearted fashion. Butcher. Everybody having a little run now. Murin losing Sloan, finding Brazil, and can this one fall to Mariner? No. It might well fall to Tyson, though. He's got it. Tyson now. Tyson again. What a disaster again in that Manchester United penalty area.
That was a beautifully taken goal, actually, Arnold, wasn't it? Because he had to fight for it, and
yeah, it was a good taking goal, but I mean, I think it was Gordon McQueen. You don't do things like this in your own box. I mean, just give it away to France. He controlled it, and he's so skillful. But this was not really a problem for him.
Do you keep in touch with Franz at all? What is he doing?
Yes, he's coach of Malmö in Sweden. He used to be the assistant manager of Vitesse in Arnhem in Holland. Yeah. But in January he joined the Swedish team. So he's doing well.
Is he the manager there?
He's the manager, yes.
Yeah, good.
Forward goes Brazil. Still with it. Now Mariner. Well, there's a free-for-all down there. Only 2 players up front for Ipswich for most of the game, and they've had so much freedom. Butcher on the near post, Mariner there to Murin's kick. Beattie coming for this, gets it. And Gary Bailey in a bit of trouble. Beattie likes those. A chance to get a bit of a run at it and then leap. Slightly off balance. And the goalkeeper a bit groggy. from Beattie. Powerful stuff. Gates, Mariner, who's going to get the hat-trick? It's over for the corner. Well, Mariner was in with a good chance there. I think if he doesn't get a hat-trick today, he's going to find it more difficult on other occasions. Left, it must seem like 105 to Manchester United. In comes Beattie. The goalkeeper was right out of position. Koppel has it and he gives it away. Gates is in there. The chance for number 6. There's 2 players in support. Mariner has done it. It's a hat-trick. It's 6. Well, Gates cashed in on the error. Mariner prompted in, but it's an England player, Koppel here, who perpetrates another Manchester United disaster. Who was that intended to? Gates is in there fast. Now, which one of the two is he going to pick out? Brazil or Mariner? Mariner, he's in there first. Poor Mariner, a hat-trick, and Manchester United in total disarray. Poor old Steve Koppel, who's worked reasonably hard up front with no luck, has fallen into the same errors. Grimes will have that one. Overhit by Steve Koppel. Difficult volley, but I think in normal circumstances he might have done better with that. As we move into injury time, Paul Cooper had a comparatively quiet day. McQueen started well, but has been led into the same sort of areas that the rest of the Manchester United defence have made. And Ipswich, a spectacular win, their biggest ever over Manchester United.
Well, that was without doubt the match of the day. Aston Villa got the better of Derby County, and Liverpool